Please subscribe, like, and share. It really helps us out. And of course, if you have any questions, comment below, and we will answer you as soon as we can. Welcome to our series on IGCSE Study Tips. In today's video, we are going to be looking at how to improve your memory. If you haven't seen our previous videos, click on the card above.
Memory isn't like a muscle, something specific you can exercise. It's a way of organizing information in your brain. So to improve your memory, you need to change and reorganize the way you think, and this will help to support how your memory works. There are two main approaches you can use to help your memory. These are external and internal aids. Memory champions use internal aids. These are techniques we can use in our heads to help us remember, and anyone can do it. Dr. Chris Mulan from the Leeds Memory Group describes for us a baker's dozen of internal and external tips. Try them out and let us know how useful you find them.
When someone gives you a phone number to remember, use chunking as a way of remembering it. Short-term memory is limited, so chunking helps us process long bits of information in more easily digestible chunks. Most people can remember 7 things. This is plus or minus 2. This means that you'll usually be able to remember between 5 and 9 things at most. So when given a string of numbers to remember, such as this ridiculously long number, what we do is break it down. 1239 57 0 10 66 or even 1239 5700 1066, these are chunks of numbers. You may find it easier to chunk numbers according to something you find meaningful, like the age of someone you know, an address, or a famous date. 1066 Battle of Hastings, for instance. These attached meanings can then form a story to help remember a really long sequence.
Cramming doesn't work. Repetition and rehearsal can be useful, as practice makes perfect. But psychologists have learned that it's better to space out your learning than to mass it all in one lump. When practicing a word in a foreign language, don't repeat it over and over. Repeat it to yourself once or twice, then try something else. Learn something else, or just have a break. Then come back to it. And don't cram for exams, things just won't sink in. Does this advice tie in with your experience? Let us know.
If there's something you have to do every day at a specific time and often forget, then this technique, called implementation intentions, should help, and it's very simple. Give yourself a cue to help your intention to do something. Doctors use it to help people's health behavior. For example, say to yourself, whenever I have my first cup of tea in the morning, I will also take my pills. Or when the movie finishes, I'll do my exercises.
Write it down. Most people use one or more external aids to help remember. Here are some examples for you to use. Entering appointments in a diary or on a calendar. Writing on the back of your hand. Writing lists. Using alarm clocks on your watch or mobile phone. Putting objects in a conspicuous place. For example, by the front door. Like the books you require for school the next day. Asking someone else to remind you, although this one seldom works as they forget too.
See it. Feel it. Remember it. One type of mnemonic, or memory aid, relies on imagery rather than words. A classic way of remembering a person's name is to try and imagine it, or something associated with it, on the person's face. This is easy if you meet John Bridge, just imagine a bridge on his face. For less obvious examples, you'll have to get more creative. Psychologists have found that the more bizarre and vivid the image, the better it works.
The human mind is massively devoted to meaning. The digits 50191144421945 are fairly difficult to remember because they are essentially meaningless. That is until you realize that each set of 3 digits can be assigned meaning. Try Levi jeans, Porsche sports car, favorite football formation, end of World War II. This string of facts may not be easy to remember, but not nearly so hard as the digits in their raw form. Look for meaning in everything, especially if you can refer it back to yourself.
Make a mistake whilst learning something for the first time and you're more likely to make the same mistake again. But get it right from the start and it'll stick. This is called error-free learning. For instance, if you drive to your friend's house for the first time, and you make a mistake on that occasion, it is quite common that you will repeat that mistake. This is because, when you repeat the journey, you recognize the route and the landmarks, and your brain will carry on misguiding you until you realize that you're just remembering the things you did wrong last time. It's not that your memory is poor but that it's misleading you. So if you're learning a new thing, cut out all distractions, which will help you learn it right the first time. Do you have any examples of memory mistakes you keep making?
Remember, it's all about me. Called the self-reference technique, this is really one of the best and simplest methods of all, so much so that we tend not to even think about it. Simply refer any information to yourself and it makes it easier to remember. It can work on a mundane level. Meeting someone called Peter and associating him with other Peters you know. On a deeper level, making personal associations with important facts or ideas, political, moral, social, will help you remember them.
As realtors might say, location, location, location. One kind of visualization technique is also called the method of loci or the Roman room method. It's a very good way of remembering a sequence of related information such as a list of names. Use a mental image of a place you know well, such as your home, and take a mental walk through the rooms in a set order. Then, put the names from your list one by one into the rooms. Suppose you want to remember the names of your friend's children in order of age. Visualize Harry the eldest in your front room, then Sally the second in the back room. Molly the third is in the kitchen, and so on. To recall the names later you repeat the mental walk. Loci seems a strange way of remembering but with practice, it is very successful. Need convincing? Try this, ask someone to read out a list of 10 random words slowly but steadily and only once. About 1 word per second should be fine. Now, don't use any specific method. Just try to recall the words in order a few minutes later. Try it again using the loci method. Visualize your home and all the rooms. Move between the rooms and find a starting point. Now when your friend reads the list of words again, try to create visual images of the words associated with one of the locations. It'll take a bit of practice but keep trying and you should improve each time.
Practice makes perfect. It's good to replay facts, images, words, and intentions over and over to yourself. But psychologists have shown it's better to distribute practice rather than to have it massed into one session. So, for example, when practicing a name you've just learned, don't repeat it over and over in sequence. Repeat it to yourself once or twice, then try something else. Come back to it later on. Ideally, use expanding intervals and repeat it to yourself over longer and longer time periods. And don't cram for exams. If you're trying to remember words in a new language, try using flashcards around the house with the words written on them. That will keep reinforcing the memory.
Give your memory a holiday. Routine is memory's best friend. Make the mundane events in your life routine and forget about them. Always put your keys in the same place when you come through the front door. We're inclined to pay little or no attention to mundane events and actions, and this is why we can never remember where we put things that we use all the time if we don't have a routine.
Put yourself to the test to learn better. It is often better to test yourself on something you've learned than to keep relearning it. This is because in testing yourself, you can reflect on your progress, check how well you have learned things, and fill in the gaps rather than relearn everything again. After learning something, come back to it after a few minutes and test yourself on it. Try learning capital cities or lines from a play.
Try using wordplay. The more vivid the phrase, the better it will help you remember. Exaggerate, use all the senses, vivid colors and humor will help too. Rude rhymes are easy to remember. Just don't say them out loud. Wordplay includes the rhymes and abbreviations you learn at school. It's particularly good for linking information that's quite hard or complex. Popular ones are 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. And Richard of York gave battle in vain, or, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet to remember the colors of the rainbow. You can use mnemonics to help you remember the spelling of tricky words, the names of people at a dinner party, or your children's friends' names. Rhyming mnemonics are especially good because the sound and structure helps keep the words in the right order. Do you have a favorite phrase that helps you remember something? Why not try to create a mnemonic for something you often forget and let us know how you get on. Thank you for watching our video. Please like, subscribe and share. And comment below so we can clarify things for you.